Alright. So I think we're most of the way through here. I don't remember how many... Oh boy. Coloring book. I guess the idea is I can write these to pick stuff up. I don't know how many secrets I have left to get, unfortunately, in here. Alright, so be it. You know, I might have one idea for this. Yeah, I have one idea. Give me a second. Oh boy, what did I do? What's going on? Okay, there we go. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Alright, so... It's not going to be a one-to-one match since I can't change the shape of these things, but... the most annoying thing is I can't change the eye, actually. Huh. Okay, the rest, though, I think should be pretty okay here. I may want to modify a little bit of the thing. It's going to be very approximate, naturally. But this is an IP I haven't drawn anything from yet, and it'll be kind of cool to use something from it. Try to match the thicker line art style that this thing already has in the... that the outline we were given already was using. Kind of like that, I guess. It's an idea. The main point here is the... I'm curious how well I can actually modify this to get something interesting out of it. Or, well, more like resembling what it's supposed to look like. We'll also have to see about shading opportunities on this. Might be kind of limited, we'll see. So it might be a slightly more obscure one. Come on, get a nice smooth looking. I know these look nice and smooth to begin with. I have to play with these just a little bit. You, I'm not very fond of. It's hard to work with so few pixels. I guess I'll work with that. Unfortunately, there's a gradient here in the original, now that I look at things more closely. I'm not going to be able to work with that very well. What palette do we want? Might the warm color palette serve me well here, actually? I might go with the default one, actually. So this is going to be highly, highly approximate here. Let yourself be warned. So it's my attempt at doing something with the eyeball that isn't just... the iris already being drawn for me is a problem. But I guess I'll... I'll just make the whole thing red? Like, the character's supposed to have a red iris and not really any actual pupils. It just has promptly ruined by giving me a forced iris, but there, Or at least have a detailed eye. Here. Okay, but more seriously. I'm mostly just futzing about right now, trying to figure out what I want to do with what should be a gradient here. I'll have to do that one kind of interpolation whose name is escaping me right now. I guess that's my only choice. Okay. Anyways, let's take our base color here. This game distinguishes between white and nothing, annoyingly. Maybe white and erased or whatever. Alright, so that's our base color. We have another color here, though. I have to make it like... Yeah, I'll make it more of pink. It should be purple. But I'll do this and then make the purple a shading color. These two fins aren't there originally, but I'll try to fit them in. Alright, so... see if we can get kind of a design going here. Try to, it's gonna be tough to have a really good like slow blend here, but something like this. And I kind of messed up the alignment at one point on here. I'm not sure what to do about that. At some point we're going to want to actually have this thing go completely the other color. The question is how precisely to go about that. Trying to make this look kind of smooth, which I think I'm starting to succeed at a little bit. Oh. There's some bits here where it's kind of not working perfectly, but yeah, I think that's all things considered, I think that's an okay job at that there. We also want to do the same thing though with this fin too. This is going to be highly approximate, but it is what it is. See if I can do this diagonally as well. Just kind of gradually increase the density. Finish it to a point where it's kind of 50-50. Eventually you have mostly, that wasn't the right place to do it. You want to try to avoid clumps, I think, when you're doing this. If you can help it. At some point I need to actually start just filling this thing in. No. This is an unnecessary amount of detail and effort into this, but it's something that it's on my list of things I want to make some reference to in this game, so naturally I'm going to put some effort into it. An oddly kind of obscure thing from that game to make a reference to. Granted, but still. Yeah, I feel like that worked out surprisingly well. All things considered. In terms of actually making the gradient. Granted, it ideally would have been a little bit longer, which in theory could have been accomplished. In fact, on this side, I probably should. Here. Helps a little bit. Anyways. And for the shading color for yellow, I'm just going to use this orange. Which I don't think is very inappropriate anyways. The gradient really goes kind of yellow. Well, in this spot it's just kind of a darker yellow, but the character's colors as a whole, the gradient kind of goes yellow, orange, and then the dark purple. Also, this here should be blue. Kind of line that with a darker color here. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have enough space to work with here to really make that look convincing. I could slightly move. Yeah, I think I'll leave it how it is. Wish I could make it, it's supposed to bump out a little bit, but I can't actually do that here. Alright, what else did I want? I might just go with shading and call it a day here. Some very subtle shading. I wonder if the gradient will kind of look awkward against the comparatively hard shading on here. I'm not sure. And I'll do some fairly simplistic shading here too. I won't make it super. I'll make it a bit more detailed. So you could have it have a little bit of on here, for instance. Oh, I forgot that you were a. Should lock you. Forgot that wasn't actually part of the original line art. Alright, and then the fun part is I'm gonna have to shade this this gradient too. Let's start with the easy part here. This probably will be one of those cases where I spend a lot of time on something that's only going to be seen in the game for like a few seconds, but still I get some satisfaction from making something look nice regardless. Oop. Why do I get the feeling that I like the idea of this being mostly shaded actually? Just having, stop it, just having a little not shaded segment here. I think I like that. Happy little accident. That wasn't actually how I intended that to happen, but here it is. The Bob Ross video game. Alright, now the real fun part. So let's actually start by locking the yellow. And then the yellow can, as appropriate, be replaced. which ended up not mattering that much. Granted, I think I should make it a little darker like that almost. Doesn't look if I do that. It looks a little too harsh. That doesn't look too bad, but it's a little strong. I might leave things pretty much as they are. This is, again, very approximate. Actually, hold on, I did miss a couple things. I don't have a great color to use for those. I might just leave it with this color. It's kind of strange, it looks like the shading color, but I don't really know what else to do with it. Okay, let's clean this up a little. I don't know if I have the room or the will to add. I might. It's kind of painful this goes on the gradient though, to be honest. But I want to make this faithful. And there was one other little thing. And last little detail I can think of that's in the original. It's very drawn in a very precise fashion. See if I can imitate it. Yeah. The shape is very exact. I'm not quite getting it here. There is indeed a mouth. And it's very skinny. There you go, you need to make sure it has a distinct shape here. I think that kind of works. Maybe I wanted it a little bit more horizontal at the top. Kind of like that. It's really just kind of flashy red color in there. The eye's in a different place, so it's kind of hard to make that fit. Probably should be lower. It looks rather unpleasant where it is, though, unfortunately. The actual line shape wasn't that bad, but it was placed really poorly. I may have to reinterpret this a little bit from the original. That looked awful. Not to make this go on even longer, but yeah, I may have to take some liberties with the shape here. Oh. No, that little bit there was important. The subtleties in the shape of a mouth are very important. They impart a lot of emotion. Okay. Yeah, I work with that. It's imperfect, but I think I can live with it. So, weirdly specific design with a lot of detail on it, weirdly, for a flying fish. But this is Carl from Klonoa. It's a particular flying fish that I happen to know. Alright, we'll enjoy our time with Carl next time. That smile looks a lot worse all of a sudden for some reason. I don't know. Bye everyone.